Big Brother fans often tie house dynamics to real-world outcomes. Morgan's choice to give Vince time and space, plus the detail that they have not communicated since the finale, signals a pause rather than an open conflict. The pillow fort boundary and the immediate post-finale silence help explain how both players are trying to recalibrate once cameras are off. The confirmed prize totals, $750,000 to Ashley Hollis and $75,000 to runner-up Vince, also contextualize the attention on Vince and Morgan. The runner-up spotlight can prolong discourse, and Morgan's third-place finish keeps her central in fan conversations. If invites to competition franchises materialize, any reunion or reconciliation could play out off-camera, not in a televised arc. Timeline: October 9, 2025, 3:16 p.m., fan reaction notes that Morgan and Vince may not have spoken since the finale. October 10, 2025, 7:59 p.m., Night Owl's origin recalled from Morgan's stream unboxing. October 10, 2025, 8:11 p.m., clip highlights Morgan's patient with Vince stance and the lack of contact post-finale. September 28, 2025, finale airs, Ashley Hollis wins $750,000, Vince Panaro earns $75,000, Morgan Pope places third. Bottom line on Big Brother 27, Morgan and Vince. The most concrete status update is simple: Morgan and Vince have not communicated since the finale. Morgan's message centers on boundaries, empathy, and moving forward. That clarity makes this one of the season's most discussed post-show storylines, and keeps Big Brother 27 in the spotlight well after the confetti Big Brother Season 27, Who is George Gilbert? Age, nationality, and reason of removal. Who is George Gilbert from Big Brother Season 27? Learn about his age, background, and the official reason ITV removed him from the show. Big Brother Season 27 recently eliminated George Gilbert, a contestant who has been hailed as a villain since the start. Pretty opinionated and having right leanings, the show told us that he is a parish councillor in a small village, Braintree, in Essex. However, as the tab reports, he is also a professional actor. Over the years, he has done supporting roles in Downton Abbey, The Essex Serpent, Everything Now, as well as ad campaigns for Adidas. I applied to meet people from different walks of life and to get the opportunity to chew the fat with them. I think you've got to try new things, and Big Brother looks like a laugh. I think I'd be good in there, so I might as well throw my name into the hat. Pretty controversial since the start. He stated that he wasn't going to the house to make friends, but rather to challenge people's way of thinking, given he is not afraid to ruffle some feathers, by a heat world. Big Brother's George Gilbert, age and nationality. George Gilbert is 23 years old and is British. The youngest parish councillor in his local area, he has been an actor for quite some time. While he entered the Big Brother house because he likes trying new things, his plans are rather noble. He had revealed that if he had won the prize money, his foremost priority would be to get his parents mortgage-free. His early days on Season 27 showcased him as a witty and confident presence, though his humor often teetered on the edge of controversy. As the season progressed, that line became increasingly blurred, leading to tensions with several housemates. Why was George Gilbert removed? George Gilbert was removed from the Big Brother Season 27 house following a series of incidents involving what producers called unacceptable language and behavior. An official ITV statement confirmed that his exit was not voluntary, but the result of a disciplinary decision after repeated warnings, as Radio Times reported. Following repeated use of unacceptable language and behavior, George has been removed from the Big Brother house with immediate effect and will no longer participate in the program. Even though he will appear in tonight's episode, his screen time will be reduced and his comments will not be aired. According to The Sun, Gilbert had already received a formal warning for remarks that offended other contestants. The final straw reportedly came when he mocked another housemate, Sam, using gestures and speech patterns that were perceived as derogatory and humiliating. Viewers noticed the tense aftermath on live feeds, though the exact footage was withheld from broadcast due to compliance standards. The production team emphasized that the reality TV show maintains a zero-tolerance policy toward bullying or discriminatory conduct. Whether he is remembered as a misunderstood performer or a cautionary tale, His removal has undoubtedly reshaped the dynamic of the show's remaining episodes. What do you think about the same? Big Brother 27, Morgan Pope on her biggest move, breaking records and more. Morgan Pope was a competition beast on Big Brother 27. She won 5 Power of Vetoes and 2 Head of Household competitions. This gave her the record of most consecutive weeks immune with 7, meaning she kept herself safe for 7 weeks in a row. She formed many alliances that kept her safe throughout the game and won when she needed to. She also got close to Vince Panaro in the house and stayed loyal him until the end. Although she became the last juror of the season, Morgan still has a lot to be proud of. Morgan talked to TV Insider about keeping her real profession a secret, Ashley cutting her relationship with Vince, and more. You made it to the final 3, that's nothing to cry about. You play an amazing game. Thank you. So I'm going to start off by saying, I don't know if you know this, but you now hold the record for the most consecutive rounds immune with 7. That means you were safe for 7 weeks in a row. That is the most since Ian Terry in season 14 with 5. Did you ever think that you would hold a record like that going into the game? No. It's funny because I remember when I won my vetoes in a row, and everyone's like, oh, you're on KC, Clark, status right now. And I'm like, you're going to compare me to KC, like what? And then when I couldn't win that 4th veto, at least I'll be compared to, not necessarily compared to KC, because she won the game, but the fact that they even mentioned her name next to mine, I was like, wow. But to think that I have a record I didn't even know that. I'm just learning this now. That is wow. I am shocked, honored, blessed, humbled. Like. That is insanity. I don't know what came over me. I just kept going with momentum. I was just unstoppable, and I'm so proud of myself. Ashley decided to cut you in the final 3. Were you shocked by that? Did you think it was going to happen? It's hard because her and I's conversations were always us going to the final 2 together. And I think that was under the impression that she was not going to win the final HOH, that I was going to. It'd be smart for me to take her and not Vince, which was obviously a tactic for her, because I feel like I could have won either way. It probably would have been more of a landslide against Vince than against Ashley, which is why I was very torn. Even now, part of me feels like I would have taken Ashley, because I know I would have beat her, but I could have taken Vince to beat him too. But it was hard, because when she won, and I was holding her hand on the way out and telling her how proud I was of her and congratulating her, part of me just had this feeling that I was going to be the last juror. And it's like when things are out of your control, you can't let it get the best of you. I always stand by the fact, when you try to control something, it controls you. So I knew in that moment that I could look back and leave this house being proud of the game that I played, and even if I didn't win this game, I do believe that people are going to remember the game that I played, and when they hear Big Brother 27 they might even mention my name before Ashley. I mean, like it's something that I know that while I didn't win the game, I was the best in the game, and I'm very flattered by that, and I'm honored to hold that title, if you will. Being a 7th juror, you got to cast a vote, and you were the sole vote for Vince. Was that in spite of Ashley or were you just being loyal to Vince? Yeah, no, it was definitely not in spite of Ashley. Ashley cooked in her speech. I said it before, I was like, she cooked him like a well-done steak. I was so proud of her, truly. And it was hard, because I remember when I was jostling the keys in the bag, I kept going back and forth between Ashley and Vince, and I was just like, I played this whole game with Vince. I'm one of the only people who knows his story and knows how much this meant to him, and I know that if roles were reversed, he would have voted for me. So it was just one of those ways of saying thank you for playing this game with me, and the fact that we didn't go after each other when we had so many times where we could have, and I know he would have done the same for me. So just one of those ways where it's just like, he wasn't gonna win. He knew he wasn't going to win, and I would not take back the vote. I mean, it was just that was my best friend in the house, and what one way to say thank you, then to send him a vote, kind of like what I did in week 10, where I took Ava, Pearl, off the block. Ava was safe no matter what, she wasn't going to go home. It was more of the fact of me saying thank you to her for saving me in week 7, sitting next to Riley Jeffries, on a 5-4 vote. It's just like the little gestures to me mean a lot. And I had already told Ashley before leaving the house that I love her. I mean, I hugged her and told her how proud I was of her and that she deserved to win. I hope she doesn't think any differently about my vote. And she's like, girl, I knew you were gonna vote for Vince. That's all good. Like she didn't care. So she understood my intention, and she even knew, even in the house, that I told her if Vince was on the block finale night, etc., like, in the top 2, would I be allowed to vote for him? No, but would anybody be surprised if I vote for him also? No. You were just saying you were loyal to Vince and best friends with him in the house the whole time, but you told Julie, Chen Moonves, that you would have taken Ashley. Yes, I was going to take Ashley because the thing is I think a lot of people thought that I wouldn't have it in me to do it, but I know that if I really wanted to put the nail in the coffin, I earned this win, and I deserve to win. Because if I were going against Ashley's speech, people might have been like, oh, she's cooking. But if I were to win and take out my #1 ally and best friend, that shows that I came to play a game, not to play a game of best friends. We're playing Big Brother, not Big Bestie.